Hello all and welcome to week 1 of trying to become a professional rugby player. Today we started off the Monday with a nice and early gym lower body session. Started off with some banded squats, did 3 reps for a couple sets and felt nice and explosive there. Supersetted that with some box jumps. Then we got into some barbell RDLs, a couple each side. And we hit some eccentric, allegedly supposed to be 5-second Nordics, but no one could ever do 5 seconds. So then we hit some what I believe to be called some ankle ballistic iso holds. Went home to make a feast of a breakfast before I did some reading and some journaling just on the workout before I went to work. After I got back from work, read through a bit of the kind of cookbook, then went off to Spud Shed, the nice local, to get some food for the week. Got home, packed the food away, and then we headed to the masseuse, where he did a bit of dry needling, got some nice reactions. Ooh, yeah, that one. Something's happening there. Oh, you're such a cool man. That's all. Then on Tuesday morning, started off with a nice upper body session. Now, this was a bit different because I did my proper upper body session, and then I decided to add in a couple workouts, like most of the hypertrophy workouts that you're going to see. For example, like the pull-ups and dips, I just added in just because I felt like a bit of a pump. So I did do my proper workout and then I just added this in the end. But damn, those pull-ups ain't looking so good, I'm not gonna lie. Come on, brother, at least get your chin over the bar. Now we're going to a bit of shoulder press. I think I did about 6 reps for a couple sets of them before we finished on a nice arm farm day, which was a bit of biceps and triceps. Now this was the one exercise of the couple that I just showed that was actually in the program. It's always nice to finish with a bit of a pump in the arms before you leave for the rest of the day. After gym, just went home and chilled for a bit before I went off to work. And then when I got home, I was supposed to do a proper running cardio session, but instead I just decided, because my calves were still quite sore from the dry needling the day before, I decided to do a bit of stuff in the pool. I ended up doing a couple laps, and then I basically just ended up practicing holding my breath for a bit just to see how long I could go. I think I maybe got like 45 seconds, which is pretty shite. Did a bit of stretching just to finish it off. And a bit of rolling. Today on Cooking with Cullen, we're cooking butter chicken. But I couldn't be asked making the sauce, so I just bought like tubs, and they're probably really spicy, so sorry, Mom. Over here, big boy. Tactics, watch this. Okay. Leave it there. Jesus fucking boost! Oh, there we go. Tactic is look away. Okay. It's definitely too small of a thing for rice. Okay, so I fucked the rice, but the rice is done. So that means just the butter chicken. Surely I can't stuff that up, you know? Like, I mean, we've got literal bottles. It won't be that hard. Okay, it's smelling really burnt, and I've personally never seen a darker shade of carrot than I'm seeing right now. It is like crisp black, like charcoal. Ooh, that's spicy. Don't expect to be impressed. It was about a 3 out of 10. Wednesday morning, woke up and we headed straight to do some inversion to kind of release the back. I knew I was going to do a bit of contact later in the day because I had rugby training, so I thought let me just kind of relax the back now. Then jumped into the ice bath for a bit. Find the ice bath, I do it quite regularly. It really helps like loosen up the muscles and helps me relax mentally. It's quite a good mental thing to do. Then we headed home and cooked some supper before we headed off to the gym. Did some foam rolling, which also helps loosen up the muscles before I did a pre-field primer session, which just kind of warms up my lower body before the field. Now, in this exercise, I'm supposed to do weight, but my quad was feeling a bit niggles, so I didn't end up doing weight. Got into some power cleans, and these are quite good for the hamstring, nice activation. So I recommend if anyone needs any hamstring exercise, definitely give this a shot. Did some, I believe they're called Hammond curls, something similar to that, a bit of abs, and then head off into another ab exercise. Just single arm planks before doing some calf bounds just before heading to the field. Couldn't record much of the field, unfortunately, just because we did a bit of games, a bit of fitness. But afterwards, did some tackling just with my boy Sean. Started off with the first couple nice and light, and then gone to a bit more solid tackling because next week we've actually got our proper preseason. So I found I had quite problems with my tackle tech. Could definitely be a bit better, but for the first proper tacklings that I'm doing back, wasn't complaining. Because it was such a hot and sweaty training session, made sure to grab myself a Gatorade, which I basically sculled in 30 seconds. And then went home for some burgers and chips to finish off the day. Now, start of Thursday, headed to do a bit of stretching. And then after the stretching, jumped into the ice bath and sauna for a bit. So we started off in the sauna with 20 minutes in the sauna, and then we went and did 1 minute in the ice bath, and then we repeated that 3 times. Just makes you feel nice and loose and sleep, and you can sleep quite well afterwards. Then headed home to make a bit of a rice bowl before heading to a rugby meeting that we had for preseason. This was kind of just a base. Some base information for the rest of the season, which is quite good. Headed with some of my boys, and got some good information out of it. If I can give you guys anything this week, it'll be the knowledge of what book to read next. My book recommendation for this week is a book by Michio Kaku called The God Equation. Not to spoil everything or anything in that fact, but it is a book about physics, speaks a lot about astrophysics, bit of quantum physics, and just the idea behind what in science they call the God equation. But a very interesting book, and recommend. Out of all the books I've read, I'd probably give this about a 6 out of 10. Good information if you're like a beginner into this stuff, but because I already kind of had my mind wrapped around most of the stuff that I spoke about, probably not my favorite because I was just kind of going over everything again. So on our way to training now. It's just about 8:15. This week, I'm guessing it's because of the heat. But this has easily been my most unmotivated week, like ever. And normally I don't need motivation to go train. If you enjoy doing something, then you don't really need motivation to get up and do it. But this week's just been different, man. I've had such a shit training week. I've basically got through every workout, but it's just been an absolutely horrible week. That training was good, I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I've kind of realized it really only takes, one good training session to kind of make your week. After training, head to the beach just for a swim because it was so hot. Went home and slept, and then I had a comedy night with one of my boys from rugby. I went to go watch podcast Shits and Gigs. Shit.
Is it video?
It's recording, bro. You excited?
First time getting dunked on, kind of nervous. What Vicky?
There are a lot of girls here that Junior is very nervous to talk to. But he's looked at a lot of them, but he's not going to make his move on any of them. Ain't that right?
Very true.
Very true, yeah. And that ended off our Saturday and the week. Excited for next week to get into some good training. Cheers for watching.